how was the overall reaction and reception of the public?
It's generally, Sundance was pretty good. That was my first time going there, and I was pretty wary of it, to be honest, because I'm not really a fan of that culture or a lot of the films they promote. But to their credit, they were very welcoming and supportive of me when I was there, so that was a pleasant surprise. I think like I had some like commercial agency like trying to like court me at Sundance. And they basically, like, during one of my screenings, a bunch of people walked out, and I was like, get the fuck out of here, you don't deserve to see this, motherfuckers! And it turns out like, that was the agency that was, like, trying to sign me. So, I don't think they want to work with me now. But, generally, reactions seem to be, you know, maybe you guys are supporting this theory, but pretty, bipolar. Like, people are either really engaged and really psyched, or they're just like, I don't know what the fuck I just watched. And I kind of like that, because like all the music and all the art that I like is like pretty polarizing, you know, like it's pretty extreme cases of each genre. So I like to think that I can contribute something to work like that. So to answer your question, the reaction is generally pretty the same, and just, I don't know, it's maybe it helps that there's no English. You can kind of speak a universal emotional language.
Yeah, you said you still saw a little novelty every time you watched it, you know, like recognising new patterns maybe you didn't notice when you were editing it. But like, to what extent are you still watching it analytically? Like you saying, like, oh, maybe I could have put this in here. Like,
I mean, I try not to watch it too analytically. Like I feel like for anyone who's had, you know, an album or a movie, you're gonna always like nitpick. You know, always, you know, if I didn't have a deadline like for a film festival, I'd probably still be working on it right now. So I think there's a value in that, like at a certain point, just disconnecting yourself from it. I knew that, you know, it did take a long time, and my main goal was always like, I want to know that I tried every possible configuration of this footage. I want to know that I tried to like milk as much as I could out of this, and in the end, I'm pretty content. So,
Is this re-released as an album or anything?
it is not released as an album. Our intention was always that it would be experienced as one thing. So, I mean, for sure you can go online, I'm sure you can find like audio rips of the songs and stuff. But, you know, our intention was that it would be, the two would be inextricable.
I don't know if this question will be interesting to you at all, but I thought of Matthew Barney a little bit, and I thought of Paul McCarthy a little bit when I was watching this. I was wondering, like, just off the top of your head, like what you think some of your influences are. I like Paul McCarthy, and I certainly like Matthew Barney. I do get a little annoyed at the reference, because I read that a lot in reviews. People are like, Matthew Barney, this, that. And to be honest, there's a strong and a long tradition of costumes and props and makeup and surreal and experimental films, everything from like Russian fairy tale films from the 50s to like Kenneth Anger movies. So I don't necessarily see that much connection as far as Matthew Barney's work. And again, I do like it, I just don't necessarily see that much of a connection. As far as my influences, I'm a big fan of like all kinds of movies, you know, everything from, you know, Woman in the Dunes, like a Japanese black and white movie, to Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. You know, I'm just like a big fan of like media and kind of visual stimulation. So ultimately I just wanted to make a movie that I would be psyched to watch. Like I tried to have a pretty fatalist view. I was like, this is the last thing I ever do. I just want to make something that I would be stoked to watch. And, you know, I do consider myself really lucky to have had the opportunity, so hopefully I'll get to make more.
what kind of work do you do at the actual gigs? The visual, what is that?
When I do concerts with bands, I basically, like a lot of the more abstract stuff that you guys saw, I make material like that, and then I mix it live to the set. So I mix up very specific for sounds and loops and songs, and I'm basically mixing the visual material live as you watch it.
So is it like a screen, or do you have like...
Yeah, it's a screen, so it's all video based. It's just essentially like, imagine if there was a band playing right here and visuals are going on behind them. And sometimes that takes different configurations or looks different here and there.
Next time you see them, you ask them to come to England.
I go to England all the time, man.
Yeah, but I need them to come to England.
Say what?
I need them to come tour in England.
We just did a show at Heaven in London with Panda Bear not too long ago. We played ATP. I don't like England, man. Blokes.
What comes next? What are you working on at present?
You know, I'm no fool. Like, Animal Collective is a big reason this thing got made. Like, it's not like someone was dying for Danny Perez to make like a weirdo video. So, it's definitely like, I'm curious to see what the, I have plenty of movies, I have plenty of ideas and short concepts I want to make, but I'm just in the weird position now of like, trying to get more work out of this, you know? Like I said earlier, like I was just like, if I fucking die and this is the last thing I make, I want to be psyched. And now that I am, and I'm not dead, I'm like, ooh, I have to make a living now. So it's been a little intense. I've had like a lot of meetings with agencies and stuff, and agents, and they're all just like, well, how do you think this will translate to like normal cinema? Like, can you direct a commercial, or can you direct, you know, people talking in a cafe? And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, that's the easy part. You know, I made a wall bleed and fire come out of this dude's head. Like, I can shoot two people at a table talking to each other, you know? So there is a bit of a weird curve going on with me right now as far as like, you know, trying to take that step and get bigger budgets. It's a pretty bad time to try and make like experimental work. But yeah, I'm just trying to make more work, and I'm of the mindset that I just like to stay busy, even if it's just like sewing a patch on a bag or drawing ideas for a video or writing a script or, you know, shooting ducks outside with my flip camera while you guys are watching the movie. Like, I just like to stay busy. To the sounds. I mean, I would argue if you get, you know, if you feel the desire to watch it again and you end up watching it again, I would even push you to just like look at just the left corner of the screen, look at just the middle, and you'll notice like crazy lines that are sunk to very sounds. I mean, I spent a long time obsessively editing this thing, so you might be surprised as far as weird faces and weird textures that come about in those passages. So, pretty tightly, I would say.
So can we see it again then?
Yeah, it's on. I mean, you can buy it on DVD, which would really help me out.
Right now.
Oh, I mean, I'm done. It's only an hour. I don't know if you guys need that, but I appreciate your desire. I just saw this movie in New York. I highly recommend it. I saw the other theater, that's Screen Actor Festival, they have like popcorn, the Paradiso something. Yeah, they're showing Gaspar Noé's new movie, Enter the Void. He did Irreversible and I Stand Alone. And Irreversible, and for those of you who don't know, it's pretty brutal and intense. But his new movie is a couple shades below that, but it's really, really impressive. It's kind of like a psychedelic afterlife journey through Tokyo, and it has some pretty haunting images, and you know, I enjoyed that. I would recommend anything that you guys would check out to that. It's a Japanese movie, House, too. Criterion just released it. It's like a weird, like late 80s, like video pop, like haunted house movie. And that was actually like super influential on me and Animal Collective. And for the longest time, it only existed in bootlegs. Like you couldn't see the subtitles, so you kind of just had to create your own context and story. And we kind of like that approach of just, you know, ignoring the intentions and the, you know, as far as dialogue, just like making your own like dynamics and visual connections. And I think that was something kind of influential as far as like how we had these scenes interact and characters happening together.